Take y'all on a journey. Notorious is glorious, victorious. Yeah, yo. I ain't asking for a friend, I need to know myself. And if you never ask, how would you know yourself? It's crazy how your parents know you more than you know yourself. Growth is good, it's important just to know your wealth. Don't let them take advantage like niggas who speak Spanish and you don't speak a lick of it. The game will make you trip a bit. Street money is cool till you get sick of it. And all that bullshit that come along with it. Make sure you stay on your square and keep a strong pivot. Cause them cruddy buddies, they'll do you ugly. And why every female favorite question is, do you love me? And if you knew better, baby, you would do better. And once you know better, you would show better. Most men want a housewife, but me, I love a go-getter. Your ex pussy wet, but that new pussy be so wetter. No lies detected, just get high and accept it. Go ahead, talk to him, y'all ain't beefing like that. Come on, Doug, why you being like that? Man, let's keep it a stack. Why you say it if you ain't mean it like that? And when you say him, you ain't give him no rap. Man, let's keep it a stack. You ain't gotta say you gon' be right back. Stop bluffing, shorty, keep it a stack. Once you start something, can't just leave it like that. Finish the job, homie, keep it a stack. When I was coke dealing, the rules was no squealing, no stealing from your mans and no feelings. For these hoes, that's just gonna mess up the guap. 10 toes down whenever you on your block, or even when you ain't. Don't know them from a can of paint. Just be loyal and trustworthy, you ain't gotta be a saint. A lot of y'all be geeking, backstabbing and sneaking. Nose clean during the week, but they dabble on weekends. Oh nigga, I be peeping. Your niggas might be sleeping, but I was trained to tread water in the deep end. Jellyfish sting, but them sharks will bite your head off. Run up on you while you park, get the dumping, then they slid off. The hood know who did it, now let's see if your homies with it. Or your name die in vain, cause one of your homies did it. Ain't no reason to kill your man over a kilogram. How you thinking y'all fam, then spin you like a ceiling fan. Go ahead, talk to him, y'all ain't beefing like that. Come on, Doug, why you being like that? Let's keep it a stack. Why you say it if you ain't mean it like that? And when you see him, you ain't give him no rap. But let's keep it a stack. You ain't gotta tell me you gon' be right back. Stop bluffing, shorty, keep it a stack. And once you start something, can't just leave it like that. Finish the job, homie, keep it a stack. While I'm still rapping at 40, well, let's chat about it. First of all, my life's amazing. Let's get that about it. Wife is blazing, and her kids get their life savings. Follow the drip, nigga, my ice glazing. Yo, FSO, in the best that flow. Bars, storytelling, visuals, cadence and concepts, content, impact. Yeah, the boxes is all checked. I just need that one song. Yeah, that one song. And I could clutch the earth with just one palm. Never anxious, look in my eyes, I'm dumb calm. They either gon' walk with you or you gon' run for them. Either way, you gon' have to let your heater spray. Lose yourself, might even have to put that weed away. Now that's a lotto, that's my medication. Gotta stay high, yo, till a nigga die, yo. Album out now, hit the link in my bio. Go ahead, talk to him, you ain't beefing like that. Come on, Doug, why you being like that? Now let's keep it a stack. Why you say it if you ain't mean it like that? And when you say him, you ain't give him no rap. Now let's keep it a stack. You ain't gotta tell me you gonna be right back. Stop bluffing, shorty, keep it a stack. Once you start something, can't just leave it like that. Finish the job, homie, keep it a stack.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? What is going on? Give me a second. Something ain't set up right. Hold on.
Heat Rock 410. What it is, though. Take y'all on a journey. Notorious is glorious, victorious. Yeah, yo. I ain't asking for a friend, I need to know myself. And if you never ask, how would you know yourself? It's crazy how how your parents know you more than you know yourself. Growth is good, it's important just to know your wealth. Don't let them take advantage like niggas who speak Spanish and you don't speak a lick of it. The game will make you trip a bit. Street money is cool till you get sick of it, and all that bullshit that come along with it. Make sure you stay on your square and keep a strong pivot, cause them cruddy buddies, they'll do you ugly. And why every female favorite question is, do you love me? And if you knew better, baby, you would do better. And once you know better, you would show better. Most men want a housewife, but me, I love a go-getter. Your ex pussy wet, but that new pussy be so wetter. No lies detected, just get high and accept it. Go ahead, talk to him, y'all ain't beefing like that. Come on, Doug, why you being like that? Man, let's keep it a stack. Why you say it if you ain't mean it like that? And when you say him, you ain't give him no rap. Man, let's keep it a stack. You ain't gotta say you gon' be right back. Stop bluffing, shorty, keep it a stack. Once you start something, you can't just leave it like that. Finish the job, homie, keep it a stack. When I was coke dealing, the rules was no squealing, no stealing from your mans and no feelings. For these hoes, that's just gonna mess up the guap. 10 toes down whenever you on your block, or even when you ain't. Don't know them from a can of paint. Just be loyal and trustworthy, you ain't gotta be a saint. A lot of y'all be geeking, backstabbing and sneaking. Nose clean during the week, but they dabble on weekends. Oh nigga, I be peeping. Your niggas might be sleeping, but I was trained to tread water in the deep end. Jellyfish sting, but them sharks will bite your head off. Run up on you while you park, get the dumping, then they slid off. The hood know who did it. Now let's see if your homies with it, or your name die in vain cause one of your homies did it.
Ain't no reason to kill your man over a kilogram.
How you thinking y'all fam, then spin you like a ceiling fan. Go ahead, talk to him, y'all ain't beefing like that. Come on, Doug, why you being like that? Let's keep it a stack. Why you say it if you ain't mean it like that? And when you see him, you ain't give him no rap. But let's keep it a stack. You ain't gotta tell me you gon' be right back. Stop bluffing, shorty, keep it a stack. And once you start something,
COVID,
just leave it like that. Finish the job, homie, keep it a stack. While I'm still rapping at 40, well, let's chat about it.
Pseudo killers in the building. What's going on, everybody? I gotta be back to work at 5 o'clock. Damn, I'm 12 minutes late. So I wanted to go live for 2 hours from 3 to 5. Well, I gotta be back to work at 5:30. But I gotta give myself time to get back in there. So what we'll do is we'll do a little 2-hour show. Hopefully we'll get something in. And if the conversation and the panel heat up, then we'll just start a second show and we'll go mobile. That's cool? That's cool. So, we had a live show yesterday. I enjoyed it. I listened to a lot of it back from yesterday, and I got some good takeaways from it. But yeah, let me see. Let me make sure. I forgot to set up the Zoom. Let me set up the Zoom while we rapping. All right. New meeting. Join with audio. Click that out. Boom. Let's see. Interview. Bam. All right, that's set up. Let me switch cameras. All right, that's better. I'll switch that camera later. CK, what is up, CK? Where you been at, CK? Type games you playing, CK? CK, where you been at? What type games is you playing? Let me switch this. Bundles of fun. No, I'm just in here to start some shit, CK. Let me get this out of here. I'm just in here to start some crap. You're working. That's what's up, CK. I know you work hard. I know you work hard, sugar. I know you work hard for the money. I know you work hard for the money. But CK, I need you to find me a disclaimer, right? I want to be able to put up a disclaimer so we can play some videos from other channels without getting fucked with. Right? I want to be able to put up a disclaimer. I be seeing people put up disclaimers. I don't know. Let me look for one real quick. YouTube video disclaimer. Oh, why is you calling me in the middle while I'm doing the goddamn show? All right, it says a YouTube disclaimer is a statement placed on a YouTube video or in the video's description that helps reduce legal liabilities or provide protection for original content. You may need a YouTube disclaimer if your video provides advice, your video features other people's intellectual property, your video features your own copyrighted material. Generate a free disclaimer, answer a few questions. CK said just go steal one. CK on that bullshit. Yeah, I need a disclaimer, right? Because it's saying if we have a disclaimer that will reduce our videos and stuff getting took down, and we'll be able to play video, because it'd be a lot of video I think we be needing to play. So you need to explain that to me, because we've been getting a lot of strikes and crazy shit. So no. Yeah. I'm combing my North African beard. Yes, I have a loose curly grain of hair. I'm light. I'm red bone. That's why I won't take a goddamn what's the name? A DNA test. I don't want them motherfucking results back. I don't want them damn results back. I'm happy. I'm gonna put up some pictures of me with hair, and I'm gonna let y'all gonna trip off of that shit. Y'all like, This nigga. This motherfucking. All right. I got the YouTube link. Oh, but this is what I want to talk about. I'm tripping. I watched the video earlier today. A Dane Calloway video. And his Aboriginal claims, right? I know CK and them be dealing and fussing with a lot of those abos and stuff all the time, but that little movement is a bunch of misinformation, and you almost feel sorry for those people a little bit, right? I feel like they are lost, right? Most people with identity crisis, I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, this is, it's just a bad reading of history and populations of people and then your own history, right? So, it's crazy. But yeah, I was watching the video. These are the videos I've been watching. I watched the Brother Sanchez video. Now, Brother Sanchez, he claims that the earth is flat, right? Crazy. In 2022, this guy has a massive channel, right? And he claims that the earth is flat. Massive channel. He do way more numbers than all of us, right? Sanchez go live. He got 1,000-something people on his live stream. Straight off the bat, right? And he seemed like a pretty decent guy. Like, I from listening to him, it sounded like somebody I would sound like a pretty decent cat, right? Not somebody I'd be like, yo, I don't like that dude, or anything. It seemed like I would like Sanchez, right? But yeah, he claims that the earth is flat, right? And he comes up with all these different scenarios, how it's flat, how the government and the powers of the world knows that it's flat, and it's a conspiracy to keep that away from the rest of the people in the world. He claims that it's an ice border surrounding our known world on this flat plane, and that there is other worlds outside of our ice cap, right? So he believes that at the edge of our ocean, there's an ice cap that we can't, is a barrier, an ice cap barrier that we can't go past, right? But on the outside of those ice caps, there's more of the world and more continents and more people that we just don't know exist. Crazy. But that's Brother Sanchez, right? And then we have Brother Dane Calloway. Now, Dane Calloway claims that the transatlantic slave trade is a farce, that it never happened. It's misinformation. It's propaganda. He claims that the transatlantic slave trade was conjured up to steal away so-called black people or African Americans' birthright to the land of North and South America, right? He's saying that we are the original inhabitants of North and South America, and we're misnomered as Africans as a ploy to disenfranchise us from our native land, which is North and South America. He also claims that the slave trade didn't happen the way that we think it happened or how it's told that it happened. He claims that the Europeans came over here and took the so-called black people from here on boats to Africa. Yes. He claims that all of the things that's in America, the ancient ruins, and things are a testimony to our ancient history here. And he draws similarities off of that with the pyramids and the structures in Mexico and Central America, right? What else? He also states that the tribes of Indians that we know about, right? And the so-called, he called the people that are so-called Indians, that they are in collusion with the white man to keep our history away from us. So that's two pseudoisms. But this is my point. And Sosa, hey Sosa, is you busy? Is you hopping on or what, bro? What was I about to say? Right. Now, so far, I've been able to trace most of African American pseudoisms back to white people. Crazy, right? The earth still being flat is still proposed by white people, and they're all over YouTube. Okay? And all of them predate Brother Sanchez. Then we have, all right, I'm about to drop it now. Then we have the Aborigine situation, right? With the new world being already populated by so-called old world peoples. Europeans, I trace that back to Europeans also. Right? So Dane Calloway is not new in that presumption. I think every African American and every white person, see, black people, we think that saying that you got Native American in your blood is something particular to African Americans. No. White Americans say that probably more than we do. Right? Everybody claimed here that they have Native American in them, right? And it goes back to the early 1800s, when they were giving out land grants to Native Americans that lost land. A way to get these land grants and get taxes not taken, from your property and stuff. They had this Native American claim, right? So a lot of white people started to claim Native American just off of that alone, or having Native American ancestry or blood, right? And later on, it became a badge of, I got some indigenous ties to this land, right? When people started to claim that they were just, that they stole the land from the Native Americans, certain white people started to claim that they had actual Native American blood in them. Right. Then, like in the Western times, like if you were known to ride a horse real good, or was able to live off the land, right, it was a badge of honor to say that you had Native American in you, right? That's where you got those attributes from. Because the Native Americans were some horse riding motherfuckers. Even though the European introduced the horse to the Americas, the Native Americans took to it like, it was no other, right? They were some bad motherfuckers, known to be some bad motherfuckers on the horse. They picked that equestrianism. I think that's what it's called. Equestrianism, right? They they picked up the equestrian arts real good. That's they could shoot their arrows from the horse, right, with accuracy. They could shoot rifles when they got them accurately off the horse. They could wield their weapons off the horse and do feats on horses that was basically stunning to the Europeans. So yeah, a lot of people, who dealt with the equestrian, dealt with horses, would claim that they, had Native American in them. So a lot of that stuff is linked back to white people. Even the Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah Witness. It was hard to believe that was a white organization. Because there's so many Jehovah's Witness in the black community, it is crazy, right? CK, you ain't going nowhere. Cut that shit out. God damn. Act like you can't get niggas 5 minutes no more. Diva. All right, let me get this link out. No Saint.
What's up?
What's going on, bro? What's happening?
You guys keep it going, man. Listen, interesting dialogue yesterday.
Oh man.
I tell you, man, I carry I gotta watch carrying this phone around, man. I'll go to the store, a little Walmart around the corner. And you guys dropping so many
Oh man, yeah, I already know.
In bombs. I gotta turn it down so people don't start looking at me like I'm crazy.
Exactly. We gotta work on that. We definitely gotta work on that. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So the subject is the pseudo-ness coming out of the white community?
Yeah.
And picked up by the black community? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we pick up a lot of our pseudoisms, right? The main two that's in our community right now is in the YouTube community, not the real black community, because the real black community ain't paying attention to none of these nuts that get on YouTube. But this fringe community, we have a whole set of these people called aboriginals, right? We call them abos, and they claim that they are the original inhabitants of North and South America. And then we have the flat earthers, right? There's been a rash of flat earthers that been coming on to YouTube. So yeah, but both of those claims I've been able to trace back to the white community before. You know what I mean? It seemed like we catching up to these things late, right? And then we attaching our names to them. What you think about that?
Well, yeah, that flat Earth's been around. That, along with not going to the moon, has been around for a long time. I know I get some feedback. I'm trying to figure out I don't have headphones for this phone. Am I coming through all right?
Yeah, you cool.
Yeah, so anyway, I know that's been not, we didn't go to the moon, flat Earth. And recently, I know I'm familiar with the ADOS, and or actually the not what is it? I'm talking about the indigenous, like
Yeah, the abos.
indigenous.
We call them
Yeah, yeah,
abos.
yeah. As well as now, I think also the 5G in recent times, 5G and the shot, the jab.
The jab.
Yeah, that's a couple of, but that's a shared. Those two are shared too, though. The I've heard that in both communities.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the anti-vax community, I think, the biggest anti-vax um group is probably is a fringe white group for the most part. You know what I mean? That actually have that actually promotes anti-vaccination. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the same ones that are spreading like that vaccinations cause autism and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. All that. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I think we're
what
definitely.
the
I think
audio sound like?
What'd you say,
So
so?
let me know. I'll change phones. So let me know what the audio sound like. If not, I'll change phones in a second. I'll come back in.
I think you Gucci right now.
All right. Yeah. I was going to say, like, like all of them gonna be against the jab because it's really all of them anti-government. You know what I'm saying? Like they all is the government is lying to you. So I'm not going to accept the jab.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah,
yeah.
it would definitely be white coming out of the white community heavier than we pick it up later and then we put our own spin on it with the Tuskegee experiment and stuff. We add our shit onto it, right? They've been experimenting on us since we got here. We add the whole situation on top of it. But the crux of it, anti-vaccination, I believe, comes out of the white community. Go ahead, No Saint.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I was on a side hustle job, and I was talking to this lady, and this was like a year and a half ago, too. When the whole vaccination thing was coming, we were just talking. I was like, I had already gotten the shot or whatever, and I was talking to this woman of color, and is that okay? I mean, I don't even know if I say black. I don't know.
Yeah, you can say black. We can say white. What the fuck? Go ahead.
You can say black and you can say woman, a person of color.
What's that?
Yeah, you can say
Person
black.
of color.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I was speaking and I was telling how how crazy it is, all these conspiracy theories over the shot. I'm like, I got a guy I work with, and he's still, I mean, he is totally, he was going to lose his job over it for a while. And I was saying, you know what? I don't understand these people. I said, I understand black people being suspicious. I was like, because there's a history there. I was like, but I don't understand white people, how they're really suspicious over it. It's a little crazy to me. But you asked me the other day about conspiracy theories, and for in the white community, and it's so interesting. There's mix over, like, for instance, the Moorish, the sovereign citizen slash, and bleeds over, like the Moorish. I don't know if they're borrowing from one another. I don't know if sovereign citizen.
The Moors are definitely borrowing from those white militia groups and sovereign citizens. They definitely got that argument from them. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's
and the 5%ers got it from the 3%ers. But go ahead, y'all keep going.
Yeah. So I find it, because I wasn't exposed to these different groups within the black community until I didn't really know much about them at all until I got on YouTube, and then I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on there. But I was more in tune with the crazy white people more than anything. But
yeah, that the white people pseudoism spills over into our community. Just like with the Hebrew Israelite shit, the sovereign citizen shit, the Jehovah's Witness madness. You feel me? Like Yeah, most of those things definitely. And it's crazy, Sosa. I don't know if you ever heard this, but the Nation of Islam has some type of weird connection with the Jehovah's Witness. Have you ever researched that, Sosa?
No, it's with Scientology now. The
Yeah,
Nation of Islam have a connection with Scientology.
I know about the Scientology mess, but I think the the Jehovah's Witness early on when they first started, they used to preach a kind of Jehovah's Witness doctrine. It's crazy. We can look it up later. I know everybody think I'm crazy right now, but whoever the guy is that started the Jehovah's Witness group, whatever that white guy is, I think Elijah Muhammad used to speak very highly of him in his movement. But y'all can go ahead. I'll look that up in a minute.
No, but Sheffield, you must recognize that the two religions have similarity. The Jehovah's Witness have Jacob ladder, and the Nation of Islam have the spaceship, the mothership. The both of them have a lot of similarities. So one bullshit artist, the most honorable, saw another bullshit artist and recognize bullshit for bullshit and player for player. And so this dude, no one can do it. It's the same ascension gospel. You know, there's something that we're going to ascend to, a mothership or Jacob ladder.
All right, let's see. Jehovah's Witness and NOI. But I know I heard that before. It could just been a street saying or something that I heard. But I know it. Michael Jackson was a Jehovah's Witness. I bet you all ain't know that. Stoopies.
Oh, yes, I knew that. Okay, Michael Jackson had to do a disclaimer for the Thriller album based on his religious conviction. That's why the Thriller album have a disclaimer on it. Even the video, if you watch the video, there's a disclaimer before the video that he does not believe in the occult or anything like that because of his religious conviction.
Yeah, he was Jehovah's Witness. Him and Prince. I think Prince was a Jehovah's Witness also.
Prince was one also.
Yeah, that shit, man. That shit is all through our community. Trust me. It's crazy.
It's not only in your community. In Jamaica, it's there.
Y'all got Jehovah's Witnesses in Jamaica?
Of course.
Wow.
Of course. The Awake and the Watchtower magazine,
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen a black person on the Watchtower magazine until about year 2000.
Yeah, when I was growing up, when they would give us those pamphlets and stuff, they was all white and Middle Eastern looking people.
Looking up into the heavens.
Mm-hmm.
Looking up into the heavens. There was no black person on the Awake or the Watchtower magazine until about year 2000 or late 90s.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. But who's that? James, what's up, James? James, you in the spaceship right now. We can't hear you. All right, this man talk. We can't hear you, bro. What's going on?
But this morning earlier.
Unmute your mic, James. You want me to help you?
Earlier, you're talking about the Brother Sanchez.
Right.
Brother Sanchez is a lunatic. You have to call him that.
Okay.
There is no other definition for Brother Sanchez. Brother Sanchez believes in a flat earth. I saw a debate with him.
Mm-hmm.
He believes in it. He will tell you that the pictures that they take of Earth from space
is fake.
It's fake. It's a special lens they use. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the moon landing is fake. right? So I want to ask him about Mars. I didn't get the chance because I couldn't call in at the time. Everything in the heavens is fake.
Yeah, it would be why everything else we see in space is spherical. And then the earth is gonna be flat. That he need to answer those type of questions. But like you said, he's gonna say all of that shit is a hoax. So it's not even really a point to talk to a person like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like a Dane Calloway. I don't think it's really a purpose in actually having a conversation with those guys, man.
Once Dane Calloway had Garfield had Dane Calloway on one day. Like he called him.
He called them by mistake.
Yeah, he called him by mistake. And then he was saying that turn the internet off. Turn the internet off.
That was crazy. But yeah, for now, he's picking up a lot of following though. Because I didn't seen people in the barbershop come in and start talking about that Aborigine stuff, and you know what I mean? So he's definitely, because he have a lot of people that's offshoot from him also. So it's like 100-something channels that's offshoots of that type of information. So that's getting around pretty that Aborigine message is getting around pretty far. But like I said, white people, there's claims in the white community about Aborigines or people from the old world being here, before Columbus, right?
Peace, family. How's my sound?
Yeah, you good now.
Sound good.
You good.
All right, yeah.
Chef,
All right.
Chef, I need to ask you a question before we start. Please, let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Sheffrin,
Yes, sir.
I'm sitting in your chair, getting a haircut,
Mm-hmm.
and Michael Jackson walking. Are you asking me to get up?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
It's Michael Jackson.
That's why I don't lose as a customer. Fuck you, Chef. It's not a good. I'll never come back in the chair.
Cool.
After I've been in the chair for years, giving him money, Michael Jackson come in.
I would lose a client to cut Michael Jackson hair. Yes, I would. I would take that out. Your $40 versus me cutting Michael Jackson hair is just to get a picture with Michael Jackson is worth me losing you as a client. Like, and I would explain to you how much Michael Jackson mean to me. You know what I mean? And if you couldn't understand that, right, then you ain't my friend anyway. That'd be crazy. Yeah, you would have to understand. But see, most people would be like, yo, how my whole barbershop would go crazy if Michael Jackson walked in there. So, I mean, like, somebody gonna snatch you out that chair. It might not be me, but somebody gonna snatch you out that chair. So, you know what I mean? That's just the way it is, yo. That's Michael Jackson, yo. Like, come on now.
All right, I use Michael Jackson. What about, well, you're going to say, what about these rappers? What about Drake?
Nah, Drake can wait. Drake can wait. I don't find Drake music that good, right? Where I would tell somebody they got to get up for Drake. Nah, I wouldn't do it.
All right. I used the wrong person. I know that I think Michael Jackson.
I think Michael Jackson.
And Drake asks me, I'm booked up for the year. But if Drake asks me to come do his driveway, I'm doing his driveway tomorrow.
Facts.
Plain and simple, right? Drake is one of the best artists out there, right? He's one of the last artists that actually makes real music. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, one of the last. This new shit that they got, Drake is one of the last ones that even makes sense when he starts rapping or singing or whatever it is he does, right? The rest of these kids, I don't even know what they saying. Drake is the last one that I actually know what he's saying. Go ahead, y'all.
He can't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I ain't losing no client over Drake.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, I ain't losing no client over Drake. That ain't gonna happen. Like, not him. You feel me? Matter of fact, no rapper. I wouldn't lose no client over no rapper. You feel me? No rapper, no basketball player, none of them type motherfuckers. But he asked Michael Jackson, like, yo, the world stopped for Michael Jackson, yo. I'm sorry. You dig what I'm saying?
That's the right man. All right, question, another thing. Anybody in this room has seen the trailer for Wakanda Forever?
You said what?
New trailer of Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. Has anybody seen the trailer?
No, I ain't watched it yet. What's going on with it?
You know the trailer? The young lady is singing Bob Marley, No Woman to Cry as the background play. It's a beautiful trailer. It's a beautiful looking movie to come. I don't care what anybody saying about selling our stories and mythology. I love myths for black people. Black people must have their own myth.
Yeah, that's a Marvel myth though, but I'm all with it. I love it. I love Black Panther. Right? That was dope. You know what I mean? They actually made a Asian one called what was it called?
With the rings? Yeah.
Yeah, with the rings, right? You know, so I
Shanghai or some shit like that.
Yeah. I ain't watched it yet, but
This video.
what happened?
Yeah. That's crazy because they incorporate Black Panther into a lot of
the other movies.
Because Spider-Man, you know, my daughter, everybody know I got little ones. My daughter, she got Disney, and they got Spider-Man, the little junior, the junior superheroes now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know they incorporate, you know, Black Panther in, and a couple others that normally wasn't incorporated, right? So I think I appreciate the diversity that they promote these days in the superhero thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a Muslim girl now, a Muslim girl superhero on Disney Plus.
Mrs. Marvel.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. She Indian.
You got
Moon Shadow. That shit sucked. I saw that.
Hell no. That was good as hell.
Shadow, not Moon Shadow. We talking about Mrs. Marvel.
Miss Marvel. No, but
the Muslim dude is Moon Shadow.
Moon Knight.
We're not talking about.
No, Miss Marvel is Muslim. Miss Marvel is Muslim.
Yeah, she Muslim too. She's Muslim too. But she's actually Indian. Right?
She's Indian, right?
Yeah, she's Indian. She's Muslim, but she's
Moon Knight was like, wasn't it the motherfuckers? He goddamn Eurasian or something. That motherfucker.
He was an Arab. He was Egyptian.
We're not talking about him. He's Egyptian. We're not talking about him. But even when you look at it, when Disney did Moana for the Pacific Islanders, at first I said, how would the Pacific Islanders think about Disney making a movie about them? And when you watch YouTube, Moana, the girl with the water, Moana and the
I told my daughter to see that. Yeah.
The Hawaii, yeah.
Mowing like some type. Yeah.
The Pacific Islanders.
It's so crazy because
they loved it.
They did love it.
My daughter loved that movie.
I got a Samoan guy that works with me, and when my daughter had her 4th birthday, he came, and all the kids thought he was Moe. Moe is the guy that plays that.
The big Samoan? The big Samoan?
Big Samoan dude, yeah. He looked exactly, I mean, my guy, his name is Lance or whatever. He mixed with Hawaiian and black, right? But he looked exactly identical to that guy. He
looked like the Rock.
His hair, everything is identical to him. Right?
Yeah. And how he didn't feel anyway. He feels good. That people appreciate him.
Your phone muffled.
You muffled, Stupies.
Yeah. He felt good that people appreciated him. He feels good about the character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was good about it. And the kids loved it. I swear, the kids started crying when he left. They started crying when he left. I swear they did. They thought he was Moe for real, man. He did a great performance, man. I appreciated him, man. I paid him, but he did not want me to pay him at all. Like, I mean, I had to sneak and pay him. You know what I'm saying? I had to sneak it in his vehicle and shit. You know what I mean? But he had a good time, man, and they had a good time. That's one of the things I remember when you said that Moana, man. I automatically that came to my mind automatically.
Yeah, people, other cultures, movies are important, you know. Although it's propaganda, it is important to how you see yourself. So when you have positive movies in positive light, that is very important.
Yeah,
right. That's
crazy
why.
y'all didn't. You ain't like Moon Knight Sosa?
Hell, that shit just dragged on. That shit just, I could get,
Nah,
I
I
suffered
liked it.
through it though.
You said he
Character
suffered
looked phony. I didn't even watch it because the character looked kind of phony to me. I mean, I don't know.
It was too playful. Like, he didn't really get busy that much. Even the ending, like, I was waiting for him to, like, see what he can do. Like, he didn't really get busy like that. You know, nigga joking around. He fighting himself. I'm like, God damn, I ain't got time.
Damn, I digged it. I thought it was. I like the diversity in it that they don't. You know what I mean? Moving around with the with the characters, and you know, because Marvel has so many characters, right? They you know, they can introduce new characters all the time. That, you know, they've been making comics for so long. They can revamp, you know what I mean, characters that we never even heard of. They actually have a Miss Marvel or a Captain Marvel that was a black woman at one time, right? So they have so many different characters, man. Like, it went through so many different iterations and writers, right? And artists that, you know, that then had their own take on different characters. And gave a storyline for different characters, so they can go in so many different ways, right?
What about
Moon Knight's the only one.
Moon Knight. DC and Marvel now, don't they?
DC phony as hell. DC got the best characters, but they can't make movies to save their lives.
Their movies, they make the
I'm
worst.
talking about the ownership though. Don't Disney.
Disney. Yeah. They own Marvel
and DC, right?
Nah, DC is somebody else.
I thought they had combined. I thought DC and Marvel had combined, and then Disney bought. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I might have heard that wrong.
Yeah, DC is.
What
they
about
got the best goddamn characters, man. They got goddamn Superman. They got Batman, and can't make a good goddamn movie to save their damn lives. How you gonna have the Flash?
They can pull off.
Batman the only one can make it.
Yeah, Batman is the only one they can make. Right.
Yeah.
There were two Tuskegee Airmen movies, one by HBO with Fishburne, and then the George Lucas, which had better graphics. I kind of like the one with Fishburne. Anyone seen any one of those?
What?
What? You said you learned from Marvel Comics. You said Tuskegee Airmen.
I know, because I keep getting on these channels, and when I try to get to science, y'all niggas be stuck on some crazy shit.
Yo, the conversation.
Y'all grown niggas or what? Y'all grown? How old are y'all niggas?
Jane, wait for the conversation you want to hear, bro, and then jump on. Like, don't jump on and talk shit about what we talking about, because it's still about what we talking about, bro.
Talking about movies. I talked about it because I try to shift it off that cartoon shit. Anyway, I promise I'm cool, man.
Hey.
I'm trying to be cool. Go ahead, man.
Why you shit on Albury?
That's what I even do, though. I don't even come on. If I don't want to talk about something, I just don't be on the panel. You know what I mean? I come back when they talking about something I want to talk about, Jay. I see you at that podium, Jay. What were you saying at the podium?
That's last year. That's last year at my alma mater.
Oh, that's your alma mater. And what were you speaking about?
Well, I was the MC at the reunion for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, a lot of the black graduates. And the keynote speaker was Donnie Cochran, who was the first black commander and participant in the Navy exhibition flight team called the Blue Angels. I think you heard of it. And it was a great show because last month, early May, late April, I was in Georgia at the Georgia Aviation Museum because he was inducted into the Georgia Aviation Hall of Fame because, you know, the brother went to Savannah State, a historically Black college, and performed well. So being inducted into the Georgia Hall of Fame, my wife and I really, well, it was a must to attend, you know, for the induction.
Well, definitely. So it looks like you have some type of decorum, right? Looks like you know how to handle yourself in a public place. So let's have that. The way you acted there, the way you was acting that night, let's act like that on this show, bro. I'm fucking with you, but yeah.
No, I'm serious. So, we talk about
play yourself, man. You know, you play yourself. Ain't no thing. You know, I got some more.
Yeah. We good playing ourselves, man. They were talking about our goddamn kids and shit.
It was some things I needed to say. I was sleepy, right, yesterday, right?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, and I swear I heard some things last night. I'm gonna say it was because I was sleepy. I'm hoping, right? We were excusing certain people for slavery because of they had to do what they had to do, or either it was that time of year or something. Whatever they said. It was the times, whatever. So we was excusing people, right? And I have a hard time understanding all of this argument about all of this racism that I've been hearing, because I've almost put the word racism in the box with melanin because I've been hearing it too much lately, right? It's been actually irritating me that I've been hearing the word racism. And come to find out, right, Black people are okay with discriminating on one another, right? Fucking over one another, right? It's okay as long as you Black. You can snatch me up and you can sell me as long as you Black, right? You can murder. You can be in my neighborhood. You can deal all the drugs as long as you Black, right? You can be in my neighborhood and be doing all the killing, right? As long as you Black. Long as you Black, though, you gotta be Black first to get away with this shit, right? You can be a slaver, right? Selling slaves to the Portuguese. Only requirement is okay, but the only requirement is that you're Black to do that, right? You can even hold somebody beyond their indentured servitude as long as you're Black. The Black community says it's okay. The moment a white man do it or an Arab do it, that's where the problem lays, right? We cannot have the white man enslaving nobody or being the ones in the neighborhood killing up the niggas, right? Fucking over niggas, right? The white man can't fuck over niggas, right? Because he white. He not Black. You need to be Black to fuck over niggas for it to be okay. Sosa and Sheffer. Like I said, I was sleepy last week. I was sleepy. But that's what I heard people say on this channel. They was on this channel, Sosa and Sheffer. And they said that. I paraphrased a little bit, right? But I did not mischaracterize what I heard. Unless I was too sleepy last night. Now, I'm waiting on Sosa or Sheffrin or No Saints or Stoopies or somebody to say, yeah, you were probably sleepy.
You are wrong. You were probably sleepy.
Nah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
No. I said something similar to what you said.
I was leaning towards that, Stupides. I'm glad you said that. Go ahead.
Listen, old boy came on. I started giving him scenario. Okay, a white man sleep with your wife. A black man sleep with your wife. He said if the white man do it, he might have to kill him. He said if the black man do it, he could probably.
I actually listened to that, Sosa, while I was at work, and I got up. I had my earbud in my ear at a meeting, right? I had to get up from the meeting, Sosa, and this is what I went in the hallway and said. I said, That's what I went in the hallway. I had to get up in the hall. I had to go in the hallway just to say that. But go ahead, Sosa. Y'all keep going.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? And then when I got to molestation, he was like, okay, well, that's a crime against humanity, so then that's equal foot. But I'm like, so you draw the line at slavery? You know what I'm saying? Like you can rape a slave.
Let me say what.
Hold on, let me finish the statement. He said child molestation and rape, then it's equal foot. Everybody equal. But he wouldn't go past C. He don't put slavery in that category. He delineate that slavery. So go ahead, Steve.
All right. My issue with it, my fundamental issue with the question you asked, if a white man sleep with my wife versus a black man sleep with my wife, this is my fundamental issue with it. My fundamental issue is that when the white man sleeping with my wife, what is his end game? Is it out of love or is it because he's fetishizing the black woman? No. Let me finish talking.
Probably because he wanted some pussy, but I'm just
No, that's not true. That is not true.
On the limb.
That is not true. That is not true.
Corey, when in history? Hold on, Stupid. Hold on. Stupid. Let me say it real quick, Stupid. Then you can go. When in the history of niggerdom have black ever had a nigga sleep with his wife like, I wonder what his intentions are. Like, what the hell? That's just crazy, bro.
No. It is not crazy. Because let's put it this way.
What could his intentions be? What
white people see? What you see when you sleep with a white girl is not the same mental effect it have on a black man when he sleeps with a white girl. When a black man sleeps with a white girl, half of the time, you sleep with a white girl out of what it is like to sleep with a white girl. So basically, you're using her on so many different levels. You don't want her. She's a fetish. Right? She's a fetish. Anybody in here?
Nah, you speak of a black American. I don't agree with none of that.
I'm speaking not for black America. I'm speaking for people in general.
Your friends didn't go to college, did they, Stupid?
Who?
Did you have friends that went to college, like a close friend of yours that went to college?
Yeah, I have friends who went to college, yeah.
So you went to the parties then, right?
Yeah, but why you sleep with a white girl? Why did you sleep with a white girl?
I slept with the white girl because that's the one that was available that night.
No. You're looking at these answer.
You go to the college party, get drunk. No. You go to the college party, you get drunk. You're not thinking, I have an agenda. I need to find a white girl because of the agenda. No, that's not what you're thinking.
No. See, what you're doing, you're simplifying it now. You can't don't have simplicity.
Because it is simple. You're thinking what you think.
Not simple as that. It is not as simple as that.
I'm only thinking with my other head. I don't have any other head involved. There's no thinking involved in this.
It is not as simple as
that. What I'm trying to tell you. There was zero thinking going on. Go ahead, though. No Saints, what you think? You've been to a college party, No Saints. Now, did you think about the black girl that you slept with, or did you? Was your dick hard?
No, but we don't fetishize our black women. We do not fetishize them. They're not fetishes.
I need to hear from No Saints. I need to hear from No Saints and the black girl. No Saints. The
Yes.
black girl that you slept with. Did you think about it, or was your dick just hard?
I was engaged, but before I was engaged,
you was engaged before you slept with her.
No, I wasn't engaged before I slept with her, but like we had a relationship, you know. Listen, I don't want to take anything away from what Stoopies is saying, because I'm sure that there's that going on, but I think a lot of the time it's really just I'm not, like, for instance, Stoopies is looking at it and he's wondering what's going on between that couple, and it may or may not be going on with that couple. Like, I don't know. I think it's all individually, I've always found that interesting. Like, it never upset me to see any other male race going out with a white, like, that white woman's not mine. You know what I mean? Now, if it's my girlfriend, it's my girlfriend, it's a different thing. If it's my girlfriend, then I'm pissed off, right? But like, just some random chick on the street, I don't know who that person is. Why? It's not. I don't own that person. But I will say this: I can understand, or I can think. I try to put myself in other people's shoes, and I can understand through the history of America, why it may be offensive to a black man to see a white man with a black woman. I can understand, like, some people would have that issue, but it's not like, for me, I was never fetishizing or anything like that. I just like hot women, and if it's a hot black woman, I like a hot black woman. If it's a hot white woman, I like a hot white woman.
A hot woman is a hot woman, pretty much, ain't it? No sense.
That's right.
That's where I was thinking.
No sense is wrong. No sense is wrong. Because it's like me asking for Michael Jackson. No sense is wrong. Because listening to him talk, his outlook in life is totally different. He's not that kind of dude. But he's not the rule, he's the exception. So you just ask the exception to the rule what he would do. You just ask exception to the rule.
I'm just saying, stupid. You don't know what the rule is. Unless you went to a secret meeting with white folks and had a discussion.
Hey, let me tell you something. Michael Jackson, my man. Yeah, I'm a Jackson. Hold on. I was named after Michael Jackson, right? My middle name, because I had my last name was Jackson. So my older female cousin decided, because my dad was about to have a son, that the middle name should be Michael, right? But I never use it, so it's just Jilacon Jackson. I never use my Michael name. But anyway,
you Michael Jackson now. You should have never said that.
But hold on. Michael Jackson is the only celebrity I know that have white women crying and fainting. Not even Elvis Presley. I ain't never seen a video of white women crying more to Elvis compared to Michael. Ain't never happened.
You talk about Michael Jackson. You talk about the epitome of stardom. Like, there'll probably never be another Michael Jackson. You talk about somebody that was a star from a child all the way to the adult age.
Elvis up there, but I ain't seen
Michael. Listen, Michael Jackson was a star from a child all the way to his adult age. Like, his phenomenon, like, you'll never see that shit again, most probably, bro. You'll never see that again. He was a phenomenon, bro. He couldn't even go outside. It'd cause a guy this should have caused a guy, not just with white people, everybody. This should have caused hysteria. He couldn't even go outside.
Yeah, he was a bad man.
Mike was serious. Motherfucker like Prince too now. Don't sleep on Prince.
But the white woman ain't crying over no Prince and fainting.
Yeah, man, Prince was knocking him down, bro.
Now Mike was on a different level, homie. I ain't gonna lie. Prince made more songs.
Prince had it going on.
Prince made better song than Michael, but Michael made Thriller, my nigga. God damn.
Off the Wall
I
is a
remember they
better
was
album.
passing out and shit.
Off the Wall is a better album than Thriller. Off the Wall is a far better album than Thriller. Thriller is
To
more
what?
commercial.
Which
Off the
one?
Wall
Yeah, Off the Wall was
Off
good.
the
Yeah,
Wall
Off the
is
Wall
a
was classic.
better album than Thriller.
Say that
Yeah,
again.
Off the Wall was classic. Off the Wall.
Off
Off the
the
Wall was
Wall
a
is a
classic.
better album than Thriller. Let's see all of these niggers inside there who don't know music.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Thriller was good too though. I think Thriller had like PYT. Like, I guess Michael might have some dope ass. Yeah.
I can remember.
Everybody else, but Off the Wall is a better album.
I can remember it. I can remember being 4 years old before I came. I came in the country when I was 5. I had been 3 or 4. I'm 43 years old, and I can remember my mom playing. What's that? Human Nature. Tell me,
Man, come on,
but
bro. Come on,
but
man.
I didn't know. I did not know what song until I came to America. That's that Michael Jackson song. That was like
Oh
years
yeah,
later. That was
I
years
forgot
later.
you
I was
from
like,
Liberia. Yeah, I
huh?
forgot you from.
Yeah,
Yeah. What you said? I forgot you from Liberia.
yeah. I'm
All
from
right.
the Great Liberia, nigga. Get it
Great
right.
Liberia. My bad. The Great Liberia.
LIB, nigga. Yeah,
Yo,
My
baby.
bad. My bad.
I want to start
Yeah,
a
baby.
resort down that month, man.
Say that again.
I want to start a resort. That thing is ripe for a resort. It's on the coast.
Yo, you know
Liberia
the
is
best
something
place?
to look at
I
closer.
the best place is in Tanzania. I just came from Tanzania last year June. Those beaches, yo, you missing out,
Yeah.
B. It's
Mm.
beautiful. East Africa.
Tanzania.
East Africa.
Tanzania.
Yeah, I was there for like almost a month over there. I have a
What
And I'm glad
place?
you hear from Liberia too, because I got a question for you. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask though, what place would you recommend though, like for American tourists? You'd be like, yo, for American tourists, I would recommend. Where would you recommend?
to go. You mean on the land?
Yeah,
Yo, East Africa, homie. Even though I'm from
East
West Africa, East Africa. You know what I'm saying? Tanzania. You talking about Kenya? You talking about
Kenya.
yeah? But
Yeah.
I fell in love with Tanzania though, man.
Hey,
I love
before Corey asked about Liberia, what does it look like with Firestone extracting all that rubber? Like their dock, they have like a big dock for a big ship just to take rubber. It's got trucks. They employ the locals, and what they buy the rubber now. Since the war, they buy the rubber from the farmers now instead of enslaving people for it. What's going on?
Yo, all I know is in Youngstown, Ohio, a lot of that shit was going on in Youngstown, Ohio. But I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know too much about it, the ins and out. But I know, yeah, they were getting a lot of. You're right. The history of rubbers, you know what I'm saying? Firestones were they built school there for the local, but the school only went to like 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean Firestone took advantage of, and so forth.
Yeah.
But they only could go as far as the government allowed them to go. So it was the government fault.
I had talked to another brother from Liberia.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
Go ahead, Corey.
So when you in Liberia, right?
Uh-huh.
You go back to visit. When you go home, does people in Liberia think everybody in Africa is everybody, or do they think they Liberian? They think the Egyptians is Egyptians.
No.
Let me, and that's that, right?
Let me also tell you something. The older people, right? My grandmother, my grandmother's sister just passed away like 2 years ago. She came to America for a little bit. She didn't like it, and her son sent her back. But she was saying, because my grandfather was best friend of the longest reigning president in Liberia, for the president Tubman. Tubman was in the 30s, 1930s, all the way to like the 60s or some crazy number. And my grandmother, she would never say the word Liberia. She would say where her people are from. It's called Amadou Town. She would say she would never say Liberia. She said, "I'm from Amadou. I don't know nothing about no Liberia. I'm from Amadou Town." You dig? But to answer your question, they know they're on the continent. They know they, you know what I'm saying? They, you know what I'm saying? But you know, they would call, you know, they would say they're Liberian before they would say Africa. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go. That's all I'm saying. No one on the continent does what we do over here. That's all I'm saying. Like when I go home to visit Ghana, because my family's from Ghana. I'm not from there, but my family's from there. And when, no one does what we do here in America. You only see that here over here in America. You don't see that on. I just be trying to emphasize that because you get this, you know, well, Africa, and they was African, and then you get into these arguments that don't make real logical sense in no other community but this conscious community online, right? It only makes sense in this community online. So I just wanted to highlight that point.
And they also a little tribalism. They would say they either crew Mandingo. Oh, I'm from Slateway. There's a certain place in certain
brother. That's my next question, brother.
Right.
You don't mind, do you?
No, go ahead.
Well, I understand that a lot of the descendants of the Americans that arrived over in Liberia kind of merged with some of the tribal situation. Now, I understand that the elite now is very, very Americanized. So what they do, they talk and act American when they, you know, got something, when they're about something over there.
What do you mean they talk? Say that again. We did the what?
Well, we know that the country was started with Americans that went over there. Right? And I know that they had grown into the elite. As a matter of fact, the local had, I mean, there were several wars because of this, right? Because
they
went over there acting. Go ahead.
They had a crew war when the crew burst they call Congo, but they ain't really from Congo. For some odd reason, I don't know why that stick. The free American slave, they call themselves Free American Congo, some crazy shit. But I never understood that. But it was in the early 1900s. President, for some odd reason, that president, I forgot his name, Kings, I think it was, but he wasn't from America. I think he was from one of the islands. His people was from the islands, I think. But when he was president, he killed a lot of crew chiefs and shit like that. And my grandfather on my father mother had he was a chief. His name was Nimley. And he used to fight against the Black American. I mean, Congo. They were mixers, you know, the diaspora Africans. You know, they didn't have no indigenous language. You know what I'm saying? So they all, you know, got their own, you know, little society inside of Liberia. But I mean, you know, I'm not trying to say they were, you know, they were all against each other. But that during that period of time, there was a war. It was called the Crew War. And go ahead. What you say?
I was saying understood. Because that answers my questions for the most part. Yeah, because I was trying to find out what's the social relationship with those who identify.
You're asking the question wrong. You're asking the question wrong.
Go ahead.
How does the native Liberian see those Liberians of American descent? How do they?
All right, here's the thing though, right? In the early 1980s, right?
Right.
Because we had nothing but majority of our president until Samuel Doe came in 83 or 82, whatever the case may be, were free American slaves. They were the ruling class over there. You dig? But Samuel Doe was he didn't finish school or whatever the case may be, but he was a military guy who was in the Tubbert regime in the late 70s, early 80s, right? So they had a coup that took over the government, and the free American slave the cabinets, those who were American. Now here's what the indigenous did wrong to Black American or Black Jamaican or Black whatever. That cabinet got sent to the beach, and it tied those people on poles and shot every last one of them.
God damn.
Kill them. Now, the indigenous Africans, right? The indigenous Africans who was there, I talked to my uncle about that. He's like, they were wrong, right? He said, but at that time, they was excited for this situation that was about to happen to these Black American, because they say when they came, they were treating the natives, not all of them, but they were treating the native wrong. Now it's payback for what they had done. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
another question.
Let him finish that. Let him finish that, because I want to hear like. So then, so did it smooth back over in time, or is it still that type of animosity since that event?
No. It's smooth over. Like a lot of the because we all got I'm not part of it, but I got my grandma, right? My grandmother had different husbands. Either one died, whatever the case may be, or one left, or whatever the case may be. She did marry a free American man who had ancestors from America. So we had them in our family. You know what I'm saying? We have those people in our family. But to answer your question, it's not that we hate free American slave and anything like that. I don't get that. I don't get that.
I beg to differ. The last Liberian president who was charged with war crimes. What's his name?
Charles Taylor.
Charles Taylor. Charles Taylor is a descendant of free American slave.
Yeah, he's a free American, yeah.
And Charles Taylor did not play with you guys. The last Liberian presidential election, there was a chart going around. When translated in England, it's English. It said, he killed our mother, he killed our father, but we fought for him same way. Am I lying?
No, you tell the truth.
I'm telling the truth. Right. Charles Taylor was a free American slave, and he did not play with the native Liberian. He massacred a lot of them because he came from.
I'm familiar with. I'm familiar.
Yes,
that's all I was asking if everything's smoothed over.
There is animosity in Liberia between the Americans' descendants and the native Liberian.
I mean, he would know though. He would know, Suki's. That's what he got.
He's saying that there's not really animosity, and there's animosity.
Yeah, I mean, how can you tell him, Suki's? He's from there.
Suki's, I think he's correct, because the last war in, I think, 98. That was the last smoothing over, and there's a lot of co-mixing with the two type of heritages now. With the American heritage and the native heritage, there's a lot more cohesiveness there going on now. They're intermarried.
And also they are the American ex-American. They are the minority, but they still are like, after Charles Taylor got out of office, they're like another Black African American. And Sharif Johnson. It's not like I guess it's just a case study. They don't really be honest with you. I think after the situation happened to Talbert regime in the early when the native took over, I think they don't bring that. They would talk proudly about their tribe, but they don't bring that to a political shit. They're like, all right, well, they're not gonna say, oh, we ain't gonna vote for Black American or African American because of what Charles Taylor did. It's not even like that. When Charles Taylor when he got exiled, when he had an exile, the president after him was Sharif, a female president. She became president of Liberia, and her people from the Americas. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not that type. Yeah, go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, I really appreciate you answering those questions, man, because we were 2 seconds away from Corey bringing up the movies Minions and shit like that.
Oh, wow. Chill with that. Yeah,
That's
we
a
were
good
having a
shot,
conversation.
James. I appreciate that one.
It's
That's
like,
your first point. That's your first
like
point.
he wanted to steer the conversation to what he want to talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like
You
Bruce,
finally scored one on me, James. I was
That was
wait.
an
I didn't
uppercut.
think you could score on me, but you did.
I
You
got to
got
get
one
it
on
on
me.
tape.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
but just announcements for announcements. We got the brother Psychopathia in the audience, man. If y'all haven't, man, y'all need to go over and subscribe to that channel. They have very, very interesting conversations. If y'all like our conversations, y'all will love some of the conversations that they have on Psychopathia. He does a man cave, and he does a pseudo Sundays, and you know he got it going on over there. I like his format. I like sister. He
Sister
got a
Renee.
sister over there, Sister Renee. Sister
Yeah,
Renee, yeah. I really like Sister Renee. I like her opinion on a lot of the topics.
Yeah, they got a good blend.
Even they go back and forth. Psycho and Renee go back and forth sometimes, so that's interesting too. So, like I said, if y'all haven't, go over there, subscribe, man, and enjoy some of that content that he's putting out. Go ahead, Sosa.
Yeah. So they got a good little blend and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes Renee will rock out, like just rock out. You know what I'm saying? He'll chill out. And then sometimes he'll rock out. You hit a little dun 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 dun. No, somebody rocking out. I like that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I really enjoy the wake and bake in the morning and this shit. I really enjoy that, dude. I really do. And then the pseudo Sundays, they always bleed over into Monday morning. Like it'd be 5 o'clock in the morning before they get off of the pseudo Sunday shit. So I can enjoy that on the way to work and shit. So yeah, man, I love it, man. Keep doing what you're doing over there, Psycho. You know, the pseudo killers, we loving it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's interesting about the whole Liberia deal, because I be thinking that whole shit, because you know how niggas be like, yeah, we gonna repatriate back to Africa. And I be like, bro, like, they acting like that's their land. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like them folks, folks indigenous. You can't just think you can go over there and just claim they shit, like, bro.
But
You'll
it
be
is
just
their
like a white
land.
man.
It is their
No,
land.
it's not. It's
no,
not.
Hold on.
It's
Here's the thing. Only black folks are allowed to purchase land, right? White folks, there's a lot of Lebanese down there, right? They have to do a contract, like a 25-year lease, a 50-year lease, or some even do, you know what I'm saying? But nah, you can purchase land there.
I say, yeah, you can purchase. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, to go there, because they're talking about repatriating in mass. Right. I'm like, we'll be just like colonizers, bro, because it'll be the same thing like Liberia. We're going to bring our ways there. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to try to push our ways on the indigenous people. Bro, it's going to be the same type of vibe.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. I think he makes a great point, because you hear about, when you think about, this is the way I think about it. Like right now, say we're all in the United States, right? And right now, the United States is run by former Europeans. I mean, if you want to call that, you know what I mean, white people for the most part. Yeah. So one day, I imagine this country is going to fall apart and balkanize and all that. And then you may get another power, say from, some other country come in and take over. I always look at things as, you kind of just, everybody's kind of just occupying land until they get pushed out. And the reason I say that is when you think about, well, this is the Native Americans' land. Very true. They were here first, or at least the population we know. I mean, there's arguments. They came, some people believe they came out of across the Bering Straits down through North America into South America. They get pushed out, and then when people say, well, let's say the old thing, black people go back to Africa or white people go back to Europe. And I'm like, what is that going to look like? I mean, you can't possibly do that. Like you couldn't possibly, like my ancestors were, French, German, and English. And all of a sudden, all the French, German, and English, they all go back to England. First of all, is England going to allow that to happen, or is France going to allow that to happen, or is Germany going to allow that to happen? No. So it's like, that's why I'm always looking at, all these injustices done, and especially by the Europeans as recent. I don't know. It's weird when you hear people say, like, we're going to go repatriate a place, like the last guy was saying. Like, you assume that people are going to accept that and not fight you on that, and it's just, I don't think it works that way.
Because even when they put the white farmers off the land of Africa, they were trying to ship them back to Europe, and Europe was like, "No, you ain't." You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Right.
So where would the Biracial people go?
That was Zimbabwe.
No, that's South Africa too, right?
No. What happened was, they saying, right, South African and then other people saying, if you trying to turn, if you do that, it's like you guys doing the same thing. It's the same shit that happened in Zimbabwe, that they took the land from the whites and gave it to the blacks, but the blacks didn't know how to, at that time, they didn't know how to occupy and so forth. Right. So because of that, a lot of South African, that's their play. They say, well, if that occurred, it's the same thing gonna happen to Zimbabwe. Like how it happened in Zimbabwe. So yeah, they using that as a case study. Zimbabwe is a case study for South Africa. They say if you do that, it's gonna be chaos, like how it was during the Zimbabwe era.
Bro, it was catastrophic to those. It was catastrophic. Like I seen a report on that shit. Man, all type of shit broke out, man. That shit was horrible.
Listen, it was necessary.
Hold on.
It was necessary.
Stupides, I'm not arguing if it was necessary. We're talking about what happened after the fact, bro.
Well, after the fact, it don't matter. It was necessary because you don't understand the volume of land. I was watching a documentary once.
Yeah, I'm not arguing if it was
owned enough land that he had to use an aeroplane to survey his land. He had to use an aircraft to survey his land.
Yes, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, they didn't plan it out right.
Yeah, he didn't plan. He had good intentions.
It wasn't planned out right, bro.
Yeah,
and another thing,
you go there now. Yeah, it was a big a lot of disease broke up. It was all type of shit. The whole documentary was crazy, bro.
Right.
It wasn't well thought out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was necessary or not, it wasn't well thought out.
Right.
Well, I think part of it also is because, it's not like before when everybody farmed land. The farmlands are so corporate now that, it makes sense that if you knock out the main farmers, that people are going to, same thing would happen in this country. If all the farmers just picked up and went, who would know how to, some people act like they're going to survive, growing some tomatoes in the backyard. But the reality is, a lot of people are going to starve out if that was the reality,
Right. Well, the situation in Zimbabwe, right? When those whites went over there, you gotta understand the native there, because when their whites went there, they didn't have good intention for the native. They were making them feel like they was third class citizens. It was a lot of story I had. My father was telling me, because he worked with a Zimbabwe man. He was telling me how the whites were treating him bad, but whatever the president at that, I forgot his name. Damn, what's his name? But he had good intention, but he didn't.
Was it Mugabe? Who's that?
Yeah, I think it was Mugabe. Yeah. From but his shit was, I'm just gonna take the land, but he didn't have those white people, right? Educate. I hate the word using educate, but it's a new modern at that time. It's a new modern technology at that time. They didn't know how to run the damn tractor. The tractor, they didn't know how to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You gonna take the land without putting your people, and like being an understudy. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I don't know. It didn't work out. So that's what South African, is going through right now. They they looking at Zimbabwe at that time when they went through their hardship. They said, can we afford doing that shit? Can we afford putting our people in that type of, situation? That's a big thing right now.
Sure. Yeah, that shit was catastrophic.
Well, we got a few other brothers on the panel. We got Tuck, we got Psycho on the panel, and I just let somebody else in. I think they went back out, but we got brother Dulani. So if y'all want to jump in there, if any of y'all want to jump in and say what you got to say. Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody.
What's going on, y'all?
Peace.
Just your resident
Hotel.
Is this your resident blackologist, Tuck? You know how, just checking. I'm frying this chicken though, so hey, I was just listening.
Well, we started to get quite a few of them in the house. Them blackologists, the residents.
It's because of you, Corey. Corey, you bring the blackology out of me, Corey. You bringing it out, boy. You know how to get me. You have me in the chat going crazy, boy.
Right.
I just wanted to correct some of the misinformation about Zimbabwe.
Go ahead, bro.
That's brother Dulani. Go ahead, Dulani.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of propaganda going on there, man. A lot of us are misinformed, man. The BBC News have really done a great job in shaping a very negative narrative of Zimbabwe. If you go to Zimbabwe, ain't nobody starving. Ain't nobody looking, everybody fat and healthy. And the Zimbabweans are some of the best farmers in the world. And trust me, what y'all seeing is pure propaganda, specifically designed to make African people look bad. And I don't know how the pseudo-killers, the sharp mind of our people don't see through that.
I'm saying you from there though? Are you from there? You from there?
No, I'm not from there. I was born in Jamaica, but I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I know what's going on. I have people that travel there every year. I have people that live there that I talk to on a regular basis, and they send back videos, and they videoing the place and showing us what the place is looking like, and different from what we're getting from the propaganda from the media.
I
don't think the pseudo killers really spoke on the issue. Like, I don't know. What did you say, Sosa?
I saw a documentary how it was a lady that was filming the whole shit. And how
a lot of those documentaries, man, are what you call propaganda. They're deliberately done to insult the intelligence of African people, to make us look like we are incapable of performing, incapable of farming, incapable of taking care of ourselves. We have to depend on white people for everything. That is total lie, my brother. And I don't know how y'all don't see that.
It's not about being incompetent. If you just like we just said, if we uplift the farmers right now in America, we will fucking have a major ass setback because motherfuckers just ain't educated to go on the farm and start farming. That ain't got nothing to do with incompetence.
Listen, there's a principle involved, my brother. You don't come to my land and take my land. Then you're gonna tell me who I must give my land to, what kind of farmer.
That's why I said, bro, we're not.
Take my land. I am responsible for my land. You don't tell me what Britain want to tell Zimbabwe how to farm, how to distribute the land, where they must sell their straight crop to. Zimbabwe can't tell Britain how to do 1 acre of Britain land. They can't dictate to Britain what to do with their land. The only black people that can come to with that twisted ass logics, that insulting ass behavior to tell us this is what you must do with the land, or we're not going to give you land back. If you take the land, we're going to sanction you. None of your crop will come up the harbor. That's deliberate. You know what they did? They sanctioned Zimbabwe. So no matter how much you produce, none of it leaving your port because we're not buying it. What we do, we see from the West, and they go in when the shelves are low, and they video the shelf. Oh, look at that. There's no food on the shelf. Look over there. There's nothing in the market. And it's a total propaganda piece to make the people them look incompetent when they're the one who's trying to undermine those people's economy.
But hold on. But you saying propaganda, right? Hold on. And 2 years ago, the current president of Zimbabwe, right, compensated $3.5 billion.
$3.5 billion. Yeah,
$3.5 billion to the white farmer. So
I disagree with that. Man, listen,
He had
many
to.
of us disagree with that.
He had
That was
to.
guess what he's trying to do. He's trying to appease
The West.
the people. Hold on. He's trying to appease people that think like how y'all are thinking now. Trying to say, okay, if I only work with these white people, they're gonna do something for us. They're gonna let us through the gate. That's what he's trying to do. They did the same thing with Gaddafi. Oh, if you only pay this money, we'll let you back in the fold.
Man,
We'll
we ain't
start
finna
taking
do
your goods.
Gaddafi.
No, I'm just saying to you that this is what
We
they
ain't
do.
finna
They're
do
trying to,
Gaddafi.
you try to appease them. No. Gaddafi paid them billions too to try to appease them, to try to help them let you back in the fold, let you back in the club. So what's what they do now with Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe think that if only we play their game, they'll let us back in. We can start distributing our goods to America, to Europe, and we can start selling again. Because right now they got a sanction against Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe thought they would have got rid of Mugabe, then they would get rid of the sanction and allow Zimbabwe to start
I'm
trading
finna look.
on the
We look
international
up.
market.
brother.
We
But
look it
hold
up.
on. But they didn't. But it didn't work. They didn't allow Zimbabwe back into the international market. They deliberately cutting them off,
I
and then
have a
they're
question
blaming
for
them for
you.
being lame.
I have a question for you, since you're knowledgeable about this. You know, Robert Mugabe had redistributed some land and took it back from whiteys when, the Englishmen, when they started sanctions. Now, tell me, do you think some of those sanctions might be those heavy equipment and trading for heavy equipment, or even the delivery of heavy equipment so people could properly do their farming?
All of that, no spare parts, none of that, no refinancing of equipment. All that was cut off, and particularly Britain was the leading force behind that. They make sure that nobody. The only
Slow down. So I want to look it up. What year? What year?
Hold on, Jamaican brother. Hold on.
Slow down.
Okay. Let's get some decorum here. Let's calm down.
Brother
Dulani,
Hold
hold on, brother Dulani.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. It's on you. You got the floor. But we just want to calm it down. We want to take it down just one notch. That's all. I'm not saying you got to take it all the way down. Just one notch.
I'm with that.
Okay, hold on, Jamaican brother. Hold on. I cannot sit here and let the roll
Man, I'm gonna tell you that.
That sellout that is Mugabe. Mugabe is one of the biggest sellouts in the world. Mugabe, he was all right with the English when they were giving him distinction, when they called him Sir Robert Mugabe. When the Queen knighted him, he was all right with the British. He was all right when he was a British favorite puppet. But when he began to lose power and didn't get the backing of the British, that's when he decided to get nationalistic. Do not come on this
a sellout?
Back up for the mic.
Your definition of
Hold
a
on.
sellout?
Back for the mic, please. You kind of muzzle, just like back up for the mic or something. Kind of muzzle a little.
Okay. Mugabe is one of the biggest sellouts in the world.
Okay, let me respond to that. Let me respond to that, please.
No.
Stupid, I heard you. I never came on here and big up Mugabe. I came and said they replaced Mugabe, hoping that would appease white people. That's what I said, Stupid. I never came in here and said, oh, Mugabe was a great man or this and that. Mugabe, I respect what he did when he took the land. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I know Mugabe was knighted by the Queen. We over here, we was very critical of that. With that being cozy with these imperialists and think that they were going to be buddy with you. What they did was, even after they removed Mugabe in Zimbabwe, they still kept the sanction to this very day. That to show you what the hell do they want from black people. They want us to turn over and open our cheeks. That's what they want us to do.
I don't know about. I know American gave, like, I'm looking at some of the stuff. So you said UK still have a sanction on? Because I'm looking at America.
Europe and America still have a sanction on Zimbabwe to this very day.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, why they can't trade? Why they can't do this? You did the same thing to Cuba. So what they did now in Zimbabwe, they have to internalize themselves and try to You know, everybody trade among themselves. They'd have to come up with some creative way to keep the economy going. But the people of Zimbabwe are very creative and they're very skillful farmers. So don't follow the propaganda and make you think that
What
black
about the
people are
gold
incompetent.
coins?
No, the only one thing I want to correct before I go is this idea that somehow by taking the land from white people and giving it back to black people, that was a big error. That's a lie. You
No, I
don't come
never
in
say
my
that.
house. You don't come in my house and take my things and take my home. Then when I take it back, you're gonna tell me, oh, they're incompetent to run their own house. That's
Nah,
rubbish.
that's not what was said.
No,
That's not. The
that's exactly what
argument was
that's
that
the
the
implication
The
of it.
gold
argument.
coins
Man,
today.
listen. The argument was that it wasn't well thought out. That's what it was saying.
No, but I'm saying,
Nah, that's what you
It wasn't
said.
well
the
thought
issue
out.
is that's not an issue, my brother. That's not an issue, but it's well thought of now. It's a principle issue. You don't come and
I'm
say,
not
oh,
arguing over. I'm not.
free. It's like
That's
saying freeing the slaves
family,
was not well thought
family,
out.
Calm down.
How can you
family,
say
Calm
that?
down.
family.
Speak slowly.
Family.
Calm down, Mr.
I'm
Slowly.
not in disagreement with the other part. All we was saying is, bro, it wasn't well thought out. It could have
But
still been done. It just should have been planned better, bro. Like you
no,
can't
no.
agree with that.
The only stupid. I mean, Corey. The only reason you say that
So
because you saw those propaganda videos. If you would have went on the ground for yourself and see what happened, you wouldn't be saying that. You're
But
only
hold on.
saying
I
that
But
still
because
hold
you
on.
heard that.
know
Because
see
they
it.
deliberately done
But
that.
hold on.
Yeah,
Let me say this.
I just
Let
take
me
your
say this.
word for it. It says deliberately done that. But like I said, what I saw was was a black woman out there. She was videotaping. She was walking around just videotaping everything
Hey,
and talking to
imagine
all the
it.
people to say, now I'm not saying that it couldn't have been propaganda, bro, but I
But
just got to take your word for it.
no,
You know what
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying?
but I'm not trying to come romanticize Zimbabwe or Africa to nobody. But I'm coming from a principal position, my brother. That listen, what happened? A lot of people don't know the detail of it. What the problem? Why you think that they put sanctions on Zimbabwe? Because Britain want to dictate to the government who they must give the land to. They want to tell them you must give the land to that person over there, that group over there. And Britain cannot. No country can go to Britain and tell Britain where to give
All right.
any acre of land
But
in Britain.
let me ask you this:
You know what I'm saying?
before
That's a
that happened,
disrespect.
And I
bro,
will.
how much money was Zimbabwe receiving from England?
Nothing, because they had to pay for every damn thing. They were buying and selling. Britain wasn't giving Zimbabwe money. They were
They owed
trading.
them.
It was
They
trading.
owed them. They owed them.
But
They was
exactly.
in debt.
But listen, every country
Money
is in
to
debt.
themselves.
Yeah, so
Okay,
when you in
they
debt,
were giving money
when you in
to
debt,
the British
James,
nationals
why you
that
just cut
owned
off
land
cut me off in the middle
80%
of the whole
in Zimbabwe. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You don't know that.
exactly. Exactly.
thing? You
The
just cut me
majority
off
of
in
the
the
land,
middle of
the
speech.
majority of the land was owned by white people. That cannot
I
stand
get
in no
that. I
African
get
country.
that. I
No
get
African
that.
country. And
I
that's why South
get that,
Africa,
bro.
that's why
I'm
South
saying like,
Africa,
listen, Delani,
Yo,
South Africa,
listen,
Because
I
you're
like
saying, why were
I
they
like
giving
the
Zimbabwe
James,
money?
James, chill out, man. Delani,
yes,
let's
sir,
just
yes, sir,
let's
yes,
just
sir.
feel the fire. I understand your passion, right? Let's just bring it down, and then we can just bring it down a little bit, so we can just build a
I
little
don't
bit.
mind. I don't mind, my brother. I don't mind.
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
walk
Yeah,
through this
like
thing.
I said, I'm not saying that the land should not have been taken back for, you know what I mean, and took it back and distributed to the people. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're saying that I was
You
misled
didn't
by
say that,
propaganda,
Salty.
what?
Yes.
What?
Man, y'all say something and then you say y'all didn't say it. I don't be liking
Nah,
that.
hold on, bro. Just let
I
me
don't be
finish.
liking that, man.
Just let me finish saying what I'm saying, because you kind of cut me off in the middle. I'm saying like my what we was talking about was, from what we saw, the plan wasn't well thought out. When Stoopies jumped on, he was like, it had to have been done. I said, Stoopies, I'm not saying that it didn't have to be done, right? So now if you're saying that I was misled by propaganda, then I just accept the fact that I was misled. You know what I'm saying? If that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? But that was just really my whole argument, that
Yeah.
based on what I saw and based on the conditions of the people in the documentary that I saw, it wasn't a well thought out move, and at the
I
end,
heard you, Corey.
it seemed like it hurt a lot more
hey,
people.
hey,
I'm hearing you, Corey. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
hear you.
Go ahead.
Let me respond to that. It's the same way the propaganda against Cuba had us all thinking that people in Cuba were dying like flies, that they were walking down the streets and they were hungry and Castro was just shooting them at will. And none of that was taking place in Cuba. It's the same way they paint the picture of Zimbabwe, that Mugabe was walking around killing people and people were dying like flies. And then when white people pull out, we were going to starve to death. This is that mental, it's that mind F that they do us, man. And they do it to us often. It becomes so used to it that all of us say, oh, all African leaders are corrupt. All this is mismanagement taking place. But when you go into the reality of it, it's never like that. They're trying to paint Europeans as some glorious moral leadership of the world, and without them, we can't survive. And that's the thing. We got to break that mental bondage that they have us in. That's what I'm talking about. And pseudo-killers should be about breaking that bondage.
Hey, let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. I love Jamaican people, man. They're very Pan-African. I love the Caribbean. They man, especially Jamaican. But what he's saying is there is truth into that. You dig what he's saying, that propaganda machines. You know, if you ain't following
the
script or certain, you know, I don't care how you know what I'm saying, how if you follow the script, I don't care.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Yeah, I don't care how many people you murder in your country and all that shit. The same thing with Saudi Arabia now. America, they
bombing the hell out of Yemen.
They were killing them, bringing it. Saudi Arabia was bringing. Hold on. Saudi Arabia was bringing all type of people, all type of murderers coming out of Saudi Arabia, but America hid it because Saudi Arabia was back in America, you know, all the way down, all the way to Nixon time when it went away from the gold currency, and you know, and it was, you know, they backed up the petrodollar. Now everybody in the world got to use the U.S. currency to buy
oil.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, what he's saying is true. You know, of course.
Yeah, I do understand it's some propaganda. Like, I'm not refuting that propaganda.
It's always going to be propaganda. Like, you know, if you go to Russia, there's going to be propaganda about America. You know what I'm saying? That's the machine. What he's saying. But I did get primary from one of my father's friends. He say that shit did occur. He say we didn't know how to use the machine. We wasn't taught how to use that damn machine.
Come on.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying Zimbabwe.
Let him make his point. I'm gonna let you say it, but listen, we're gonna let federal state get it in, and then what we also try to at least give some credence and respect to the people that's on the land. Like we got to at least take their story, give it a little more credence because they're there. They got a connection. Go ahead. And then after you did, Delon can respond.
Yeah, just to end off, what he's saying, he's right in certain cases and whatnot. But I'm just saying, primary evidence. My dad, friend from Zimbabwe, also said yes, that shit occurred. We didn't. He felt it wasn't really planned out in the situation. He had good cause. He had, you know what I'm saying? The president at that time had good intention and the way it was going on there, but it didn't come out the way. I'm not saying Zimbabwe right now is poor, anything like that. I was talking about 15, 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Yeah.
Okay, can I say something now, please? Can I say something, please? Listen to me. This argument is the same argument as the reparation argument. I want every black aiders to get reparation, whether or not they're going to fuck up the money. If they get the money,
it's a principle. It's a principle.
No, stop, brother. Stop. Let me finish the argument. So if they fuck up the money, you're going to say these people shouldn't get the money because they're going to fuck it up? Let them fuck up the money that they get. It is their money. Let them F up the land that they get. It is their land. The argument about they didn't know how to use it, it doesn't matter. It is yours. Do it as
you fuck up some commas.
No, can I respond? Can I respond? I won't be long. I concur with what Stupi said. That is absolute. That's a principal position that we as African people, we have to get in our head. We cannot let others dictate to us how we should live, what we should do. And for too long, these Europeans have done that, and they're teaching our children to hate our people and blame our people for mismanagement and for corruption and for can't do this and for incompetency. Now, let's look at Zimbabwe, for example. I'm sure there were some farms that was burned down by Africans, but do you know that there was farm that was burned down by European when they was exiting those farms? There are a lot of machinery that was burned by Europeans when they were leaving those farms. And what the European media did, they go on the farm where African people was burning the farm down, were kicking down the farmers and doing the damages and videotape that and play it over and over and over again. And to give the impression that all of the farms in Zimbabwe was being burned down. That the black people was on chaos. They was chaotic. But do you know that on those farms before, it was black people running those machineries? It wasn't white people driving those factories, those tractors. It was black people. So to come and say that all of a sudden, that because the white owner's gone, those farmers cannot drive those farms because the white man is not present, that is totally insult. You know what I'm saying? But that's the twisted logics that they play on us as people, and we sometimes fall for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's our dignity at stake. And sometimes we don't even see that. It's deeper than just the surface news media, especially BBC. They go down there and they gloss it over and they play the same clip over and over and over again to drive home their points. And then their analysis is always to make us look bad. However,
that is true, because I remember I grown up in this country, and they used to have junior high news, every morning and shit like that. And every morning in 92, what year was that? That was 92, 93. They used to play Sudan and Ethiopia as being, flies on the face and all kinds of shit. And they never really show West Africa like that. They really never show West Africa like that. They never show.
Sometimes they did with the water situation, drinking out of the dirty water, and those images are 30 and 40 years old. Those people are now grown adults, and they still showing those images to raise money for these charity all over the world. And guess what? They play them in the cartoon series when the cartoons are on TV, and our children seeing that, thinking that Africans are weak and starving and dying for hunger. I cringe when I see that. My children have to watch that mess. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying, all right. So listen. So you're saying that we got a misconception because Reggie was on there and Reggie spoke about how the shit was in Ghana and how he'd never go back. So you're saying that
it's not perfect. It's not perfect, Corey. It's not a paradise.
This Tulsa.
East Africa, man. They think now they're healthy and they look much different from the propaganda videos that they used to push on us.
Right,
but they're still pushing those videos today because our children, when you don't know where they put them in the cartoon adverts. That's where the videos are now. It's even more dangerous. You don't even see it on the prime time TV. They put it on a cartoon series, and I'm saying, look how devious these people are. So when your black children seeing that, they don't want nothing to do
it with monkeypox.
They don't want
when you see monkeypox commercial, all you see is black people with flies on them.
And the majority of people is white people.
That comes out of Africa, like goddamn, like chill with this. Like this shit that just comes out of there. It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
So you gotta bring it home. You gotta bring the conversation home. It's getting a little off the rails, man. You gotta bring it home.
Let me land.
I'm not even.
Can I land?
I'm not knowledgeable on this subject.
I can land.
I'm not because I'm not knowledgeable on it, but I think it's going off the rails, and I think we need to sum it up. Let's sum it up because we had the conversation, right?
Okay.
We need to get something out of it, though, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We need to get something out of it.
We is getting something out of it, Corey. We getting that.
Okay.
Don't fall
Corey,
for propaganda.
just let me land, please. Crew and panel. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak. I don't speak very often. I do listen religiously to this program. I want to say that I give thanks for YouTube because now we can see Africa in its diversity. There's a many YouTube channel now that's featuring the Africa, the real Africa. And they on daily now showing programs and real life situation of Africans all over Africa. So we have no excuse of not seeing what Africa is in its diversity. Because there's good and there's bad, and then there is corruption, and then there's also moral people, and there's principle and integrity people, and there's good things taking place. There's a lot of development taking place, and people are doing what people do. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a lot of, let me just put this in. Thousands of Africans in the diaspora are returning to Africa every year. Every year. They're building farms, they're building businesses, they're building homes, and they're going home. I'm telling you, and because Africa is the future. If you want to invest, you want to make money, go and do it in Africa. Trust me. That's where it is.
I think it's too, hold on, let me say this too. And I think it's too, we kind of been saying it like, we really want to get more Africans from the continent on the panel, so we can get more first-hand accounts. So so we can take what they're saying that's more official. Yeah, I know. That's why I say, of course.
I told them to get Sekou.
And that's why I said we're glad we got you on. That's why I'm glad you're on, because we can get an actual first-hand insight, because you're there, you got family there, so you got stories that you can give us. You know what I mean? Like the whole Liberian story. That shit was beneficial. Yeah. So,
and also the idea about African don't see themselves as African, that is not true. Many Africans, especially the most conscious and the more politically aware, view themselves as African. Right now in South Africa, you got Julius Malema and the EFF. That's all they talk about is Pan-Africanism. And many other places.
That's Uncle. We argue about
do they think they black? Do they think they black?
Leader on the opposition on that. Corey is the ringleader.
Yeah, that's what the ancient Egyptians is.
No, there's plenty of Africans on the continent that view themselves as African all over the continent.
Do they think they black?
Who?
Do they think they black?
Because of course they're black people. Of course but they don't identify as an identity black. Remember that came out of America. That was out of a response to white supremacy. We developed the idea of black as an identity, but black is not an identity, but as an African identity. The Organization of African Unity is to unify African on the continent. Right now we got the African Union, and now we got the African Parliament. It's all about Africa and Africanization of the continent.
So they don't think they black.
Remember, the continent has been disrupted by enslavement and colonization, and our head is really damaged. We are still a damaged people. We're still going through the healing. We're still going through the awakening, and we got a long way to go.
We got you. We with you on that. Like I said, we will just highlight. Who was that? Yeah, we highlight certain parts that we feel like ain't doing right. You know what I'm saying? So
I understand. I agree. I understand, man. I'm just calling to kind of give the other perspective of the Pan-Africanism in the world. We're fighting every day. Like in England, I'm in England right now, and what I'm engaging is the reparation movement. That's what I'm engaging. I'm a part of the reparation organizing committee in this country, and that's what we do. We are pressuring the British government to come to the table on reparation, to listen to the voice of the people on reparation. That's what we're doing here in this country.
Okay, y'all got a reparation movement going on. Y'all got a reparation movement pushing.
A very vibrant one. Garfield was there last year. Garfield came over last year, and I met him over here. You know what I'm saying? Gave him the mic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we are over here. We are fighting them over here. We don't come to be comfortable with imperialism, to think that we are all complicit with imperialism. We're not that way. We got to let them know we're resisting on behalf of our ancestors and on behalf of ourselves and our future.
I must say, Jamaicans are more Africans than some of those Africans on the continent.
Listen, we're not African because we were born in Africa. We're African because Africa was born in us.
Goddamn right.
I have a question.
Talk that shit.
Yeah, so I'm just curious and what his thoughts are. Like, I know he's saying Africa's united and all the other trying to come to unite and get rid of the European colonialism. I want to know, is the Chinese move into Africa, is that a myth or is that a fact that they're going in there?
It's a fact.
East Africa. It's a fact. Even in Liberia, their presence is well known in Liberia also.
And I think it's probably necessary at the moment, because the U.S. and Britain and Europe normally would be there for Africa with technology and equipment, but America and Britain charging the African extortionate rate for equipment and technology. China come in, give you the stuff at 30%. Almost 70% discount. No choice but to go with the Chinese.
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna look into it a little bit more. But I did see that
the Chinese come in and they undermine it.
I did see that America sent like 300. I think it was 315 million for agriculture, certain shit. That's just
for the whole continent, right? For the whole continent.
No. For Zimbabwe.
Oh, for Zimbabwe. Okay. Now, I know America spent less than $1 billion on for the whole continent, but small as Israel, size of freaking Delaware, they give it like $8-10 billion. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's
I understand, but see that listen, politics, world powers, it's not a clean business at all. And when you talk about going into Israel, that's just for influence in a region, basically. We all know that there's no such things as friends. There are partners and realms of influence. So
interest,
exactly, interest. And that's why I was curious about China, because you're right. They're gonna. I mean, they're coming, and they're gonna be an influence as well. And they're as much as you. And I don't have a problem with you disliking colonization. It's a horrible thing. But as much as you hate the Europeans and Americans in Africa, I don't think Chinese are going to be much better. That's why I was curious on what is Africa looking like.
Hold on. Here's the thing. My president in Tanzania passed away a year and a half ago. Because I was adopted by my by the Tanzanian, but he was kicking Chinese out because they were doing bad business. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they were trying to do the same thing the white man was doing. You dig? Yep. And it's all through
related to what No Saint said. Related to what No Saint said.
Don't cut in the middle. Don't cut in the middle. Just don't cut in the middle. Hey, let him get it out, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna be brief. I'll be like 10 seconds. Uganda. It was on YouTube. It was a Uganda man who was speaking English, right? He wasn't speaking Ugandan, whatever. He was getting mad at the Chinese for building highways and put it but the language, it was in Chinese. It was in Mandarin. So he's like, why they put in Mandarin? I'm like, nigga, you mad? Why are you mad? You know what I'm saying? You speaking English. You ain't speaking. Yo.
Wanted to expound on that, especially what No Saint said, Brother Delani. Zimbabwe just released, and then to kind of take this conversation to somewhere real, they just released that gold coin. Now, what does that mean for the Chinese and for the economy?
Listen, it's just a currency. It's just a medium of exchange. Because what happened is that Zimbabwean money has been destabilized. You know that Zimbabwe get the paper for print their money from Germany and from England. And they got a sanction against the paper for Zimbabwe to print their own money. Wow. It's the kind of thing that they're doing. And so Zimbabwe used to go through Zambia next door, and Zambia would buy the paper, ship it across the border to Zimbabwe, and they stopped that too. So it's all kind of trickery. It's all kind of... I can't find a word to explain that kind of madness.
Our brothers there are surviving despite this European
all of that. I mean, they're trying every little way to sabotage the people economy. It's deliberately been done. And when you see the reality for it, you can't do nothing but shake your head and say, how they have the gall to do this? But when they talk about it in the media, you hear nothing about these details.
Well, with
they want to gloss over it.
With no sense question, do you think that the deal with the Chinese will be different than the kind of deal that they had from the European?
Thank you. Let me respond to that.
I don't.
Let me respond to that, please. Let me respond to that. I think we got to be practical here.
That's right.
We have to lay out the terms and conditions of our engagement with China. African people have a responsibility to get the best deal possible for Africans. And the reality is that when you compare a deal with America and a deal with Europe, with Africa, and you compare that same deal with China, it's always going to be better going with the Chinese. Because the Chinese going to give you a better deal. That's the reality of it. Now, you have to make sure you lay out your own terms and conditions. You can't build a road and the road will get Mandarin on your road. It's madness.
So the Chinese are doing actual business.
Hold on, Jay. Let Federate States make a comment.
It's another thing. You know, I was in Tanzania, and they love anything that comes from America, even though there's flooded with Chinese shit over there, right? They say break easy. You know, they want me to bring stuff from.
Yo, click the new link. I'm running out. I'm about to jump in the car, y'all. And go back to work, but the show is still going on. Click the new link. I'm about to go over there. I'm about to fuck the whole panel up, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm about to throw a monkey wrench in their whole conversation because I don't like it. But go over to the new link. We still at it. Part 2.
Heat Rock 410. What it is though. Take y'all on a journey. Notorious is glorious, victorious. Yeah, yo. I ain't asking for a friend, I need to know myself. And if you never ask, how would you know yourself? It's crazy how your parents know you more than you know yourself. Growth is good, it's important just to know your wealth. Don't let them take advantage like niggas who speak Spanish and you don't speak a lick of it. The game will make you trip a bit. Street money is cool till you get sick of it. And all that bullshit that come along with it. Make sure you stay on your square and keep a strong pivot. Cause them cruddy buddies, they'll do you ugly. And why every female favorite question is, do you love me? And if you knew better, baby, you would do better. And once you know better, you would show better. Most men want a housewife, but me, I love a go-getter. Your ex pussy wet, but that new pussy be so wetter. No lies detected.